That's true.
The sun is shining, shining, nice and bright, bright. The birds are chirping, chirping,
and I'm ready to fly.
Time to get ready, ready
for another day.
Hey. No one can stop us. Oh, we gon' learn to play. Oh, every day we learn and play.
We do our best, so we'll be great.
You do your best, best,
and I don't mind.
So let's get ready, ready.
Cause it's about that time.
Good morning, morning, you good morning. How do you do? Good morning. Time to be great. Good morning. Time to wake. Good morning.
Your dance and play.
Good morning.
Sun start today.
Good morning. Open your eyes. Good morning.
Reach for the sky.
Good morning, 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 morning to you. Good morning, 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 morning. How do you do? Good morning, 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 morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning, 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 morning. How do you do?
Good morning.
You see me on my grind.
Woo. Stars got to shine.
I'm a supernova.
Yeah, you see me taking over. Yeah,
I'm on the move. I got a way to stride to it. So let me hear you say,
every day we gonna work.
Hey, don't go away. We're looking at you. If you ain't smiling today, you're a frog in your face. Show your race. Get proud. Get loud. Whatever you do, don't look like the crowd. Get up today. It's your moment. Have a good day. Rolling out in the AM. Coming to you. Wake up call. Wake up everybody. How y'all doing?
That was a whole week.
What's up?
A little freestyle for the morning, I see.
Got to drop some bars here today. Cass is on the microphone. We're going to pass the microphone around today so we can see who got some skills you see, Don't want y'all looking at me.
Yeah, please drop some bars, Cass. It can't get any worse.
First, the bully starts off bullying the woman. That is just not what we want today. We're not going to bully. We're going to ask and politely sing with her. Do a duet, Terry. Have the courage to do a duet with Cassidy today. I know you know some of them classics. You said you remember from back in the day. Would you say Prince was your guy?
No, I said you
break out a little Prince right now, Terry, if he means that much to you. If he was the GOAT of all time, I'll sing with you.
Hey, what's happening, Shirley Carter on Facebook? No, but what I was
saying is
yeah, you misinterpreted what I said. I said that I asked Cass to drop bars behind you because it couldn't get any worse from what you produced.
Oh, so it's my bars that are bad. Of course you're going to throw me shade. Hate is such a hell of a jealousy idea. Okay, I want you to sing with me, Carrie. Don't make nobody else. Don't let nobody else. It could be worse. You could be singing with me.
Oh man, y'all! It's Thursday.
In the morning, shade tree. Jokesters. It's okay. Hate is a learned tactic. But anyhow, everybody, it is so shocking to see what is going on in the world every day, Terry. It seems like it's a collision. They're in such denial. Everybody doesn't have an idea of what's going on, but we do. So, what's happening with you, A.R. Shaw? Any good news?
Well, it's I don't know about good news, but the news is that the cases of COVID-19 is rising across the country, and it seems like to be a divide between right wing and left wing. It's a political issue now. I did some research, man, and other countries were able to get ahead of this thing. And a country like Thailand is a place that a lot of people go to travel. They only had, I think, less than 50 cases of COVID-19 because they were able to get ahead of it. And they pretty much got control of the virus. So this is a virus that you can't control. But because of political situations and a lack of leadership, we're still struggling. We're still, it's summertime. We're still have to shelter down. Still have to wear the mask. And it's crazy, man. It's I don't know when's still going to be the end in sight. So we have to do our best to keep each other safe.
It's summertime. It's summertime.
It's summer, man. I was thinking about that
July.
today, man. Still feels like March.
It's crazy.
I don't know, brother. I have not had a walk in the middle of the day that it looked like it was anything other than summer cast. It is roasting.
Definitely hot,
it is roasting.
temperature-wise.
I think the real complex idea is just understanding that everybody has to pivot. Like if you are really not going to pivot in your life, you're going to be talking about, is this summer? You better say, yes, I'm living in this summer and have some gratitude. Because if you ain't gonna have no gratitude every day, you be depressed. I mean, it's been a political issue. Hadn't it, Terry? How long we been talking about wearing masks and not wearing masks? It's been political.
Right.
They're now losing that battle, but it's been political. They put a stake in the ground early on. He said, I will not be wearing a mask.
Yeah,
Dr. Shropshire?
No, I'm just saying, yeah, I agree. I mean, we've been talking about it since March or April, and there are other countries, second world and third world countries who don't even have 1,000 deaths yet. South Korea found out about the COVID about the same time as the United States, and they do not even come close to 1,000 deaths yet. Now, I know they're a smaller country, but still, they should have more than 1,000 deaths, whereas the United States have 130,000 deaths. So that just shows you what leadership can do in a place like South Korea, and the lack of leadership can be done. What happens when you have a lack of leadership like you have in the United States? It's deplorable. It's deplorable.
King James, have you not heard the beach open, the club open? What else? Barbecues, bar mitzvahs. Hey, man, the United States has their own rules, man. You better go tear down a statue and go to a party. That's what the rule is, right?
Well, the rule is, well, I don't care about them rules because I mean the people who are adhering to those rules are dying. They're not going to be here. So if you're following by your own rules instead of medical advice, then you may not be here. Just like in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, there are a group of kids, college kids, that are throwing COVID parties to see who can get COVID next. But then when you go to Houston, you got doctors who are crying. You got people, surgeons who are crying because they got 10 people that are coming for COVID treatment in 3 beds. So the head of the hospital has to make the decision about who dies and who lives. That is not a joke. So as much as it's funny to some people, it's not a joke. So
you make a good point, Terry, King James, when you say that. It's amazing that we haven't blacked out as a community to do our own social posting one day about Corona. Like, it's amazing that we haven't had the internal fortitude, what do you call it, Terry?
Intestinal fortitude or testicular fortitude.
Yeah. So it seems like we can't get any of that to really keep our whole community as its number one priority and agenda. I mean, and that's for everybody. And everybody don't want to talk about it every day, but it's killing us every day. So it's not one of those things you can omit from your conversation. Just if it's a pickup, we should be on a ton TikTok competition on really focusing on how to enjoy resetting as a community and having a real agenda, King James.
Yeah, and the thing about it is that right now we're talking about we're in the pinnacle of summer. This is the time where the sun is the highest in the sky and lasts the longest. It doesn't get dark until like about 9:15, 9:30. We would right now be ready to open and could have been open, at least partially, had we adhered to what the medical experts have said. But because of that, we got to shut down again. We're about to shut the country down again, and we're not even done with the first wave. I'm just, So I'm just indignant right now that we have to go through this process when we could have had, where we were in April, we could be now, where we're opening safely. But now we're about to shut the country down again. I don't know what to say.
Well, Cassie has something to say. I can see it. It's written all over her face.
I agree. I think it's just a scary time. We're definitely headed back towards quarantine and lockdown again. So definitely want people to wear their mask and be safe out there. It's crazy. I don't know when the end is in sight,
Barbara Fields, who's in Essential, says, and she's a nurse in Albany, Georgia. She says the virus is not a joke. We have to be vigilant, keep up with the mask, social distance, and hand washing. Seriously, I see it every day at my job. And that's the problem, AR, because people don't see it every day, so they don't take it serious every day. So what do every day? They go out and party every day, like it's a regular every day. That's what happens.
Well, the thing about it is that we can't seem to get Cass's cousins out of the streets. They're in line. They're in line to get the shoes. She got her other relatives out there partying. She probably some of them are at that COVID party in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. To see who get the COVID first.
I don't have any relatives there. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Thought your cousin was DJing. That's what it was.
Nope.
Okay.
Wasn't I?
Let's move to the video. Let's move to the video. Keep it moving.
All right. Well, just so you know, turning it around, we got Black Girl Magic. We just want to let y'all in on this. I love this video, but I think this is something to uplift our spirits during this moment. We're just going to show this right quick.
I love that music. What kind of music was that, Romeo?
Oh man, that's called electric, man. I'm
nice
actually
electric, didn't it?
Yeah, I'm a skater, and it's.
Are you a skater?
I'm a skater.
Bro, you ain't got no skating skills.
Oh, there you go. Oh, Eric, let's get Eric on the show. You don't know. Elmer Fudd does not know. I'm telling you, he treats us so bad. I don't know why. He hangs out with Eric Black, Terry. And he runs the skating ring on ML King, and 3 of them.
Oh, Cascade.
Yeah,
3 of them.
Three of them.
So you got your own skates at home, Romeo. You take your skates when you go to the skating rink. You got your little bag.
You know
what?
You
got your towel.
Hold on 1 second. You just hold on.
Why don't you just
see what you got? See what you started, T. See what you started.
Man, go skate in the morning.
He's gonna pick on him, then he's gonna say he ain't got nothing, and now we done lost him. He done left his position because you start bullying him again. I mean, you got to stop the bullying.
No, I didn't bully him.
Off the show. He left the show. You made him feel so bad. He had to prove something to you. He dropped the mic, got off the stage. What are you talking about?
Ooh.
You see this? You see this?
Yeah, they look brand new, like they've never been worn.
They are. Matter of fact, they are brand new. These are brand new.
He buy that hate by the ton,
Yeah. These are skates.
He got custom shakes. He got custom skates.
Custom skates.
Custom.
Okay, Romeo.
He might have his name on them.
They inside, Munson. Yep. My name inside my shoe.
What?
Oh my goodness. You can't see.
What my Prince? You know what? Munson, let's get this challenge. What my Michael Jackson? What my Prince? I don't prove myself. Where you at?
We need to see you skate in them, Romeo.
Oh
Cassidy,
boy.
Cassidy, see.
That would be a great idea.
Black Boy Joy.
I was just nervous because the girl didn't have a mask on. I loved everything but no mask. That was everybody smiled for these cameras. The camera could be creating and passing corona, just by everybody. Let me get a picture, Terry, I've been trying to figure out how everybody's eating out, and they all justify eating out and how much space there is, but they have no clue. What do you think about that? Have you gone out to eat yet, Cass?
I went out to eat one time But I think the only thing they're justifying is, I mean, I guess 6 feet apart, but restaurants are closing now, so that's about to be over with.
How did I got a question? How did you go out to eat? Like when you went in, did they have? How would they set it up?
It was set up like 6 feet apart. It was like it was an outdoor kind of arrangement, but I think a lot of restaurants are doing that with like outside, but they're separating them. And I actually sent Amir this photo we saw on Instagram of like this outdoor setup, and they had them in like bubbles, basically, like with like a bag,
no, they had a
plastic
plastic
bag.
bag. Now you need to pull that up. These people had.
I gotta find
they
it.
definitely pulled this up, Cassie. So these people,
But,
I think
it was
y'all
crazy.
got some. Y'all keeping secrets from us, Romeo.
Oh no, we're not keeping.
Hey, these secrets, Terry.
It's on
No,
social
it wasn't.
media. Anybody,
It was on social
King
media.
James, she ain't sharing her secrets with you now.
It wasn't a secret.
She shared
It wasn't
with
mine.
Amir,
It
Terry.
wasn't
She
mine
didn't share it with Romeo
share.
or me or you.
It's on social
Oh
media.
my
Anyone
goodness. It was on social media. I'll pull it up for you. I gotta find it though.
No, she saves her secrets for Chris Brown.
No, I don't have any secrets. I don't even
There's
know
a fire
Chris Brown.
for
Y'all are playing me.
Hey man, I'm having to wear my best because I'm the only one that didn't get shot yet.
Hey man,
Well, let's wait. Okay, so talking about
Terry's got a
shade.
bazooka today, boy.
Talking about shade, we have a video. I want to pull this up. People were being real shady towards Marseille Martin from Blackish recently on the BET Awards talking about her hair. So let's pull this up because she had a message for everyone who was talking bad about her. So we're going to cue that video up right now.
Was Terry one of them? Because clearly.
I don't know who it was, but she has a very strong message for y'all. So we're going to pull that up in a minute.
Boom, boom. I can't get that electric dope.
So, and a lot of people have been addressing my hair or talking about my hair and how it looks like a grandma's wig. And and they're talking about my veneers. And this don't look like a veneer to me. And it's hard, it's difficult to run through my mind. But I'm sorry to anyone that I offended or haven't gotten to your expectations about how I'm supposed to be, and I apologize. And I never want to hurt anyone's feelings or have anyone worried about what my decisions are. I'm sorry. Thank you.
Oh man, that is classic.
Y'all, we are in quarantine and we got more things to focus on than just my hair. Justice for Breonna Taylor.
Oh, that is classic. Damn, I thought that was real.
Oh, Terry.
Wait.
No, seriously. I was just like, I was about to say she needs to stay on social media if she's so thin skinned. Damn, that was classic.
Did y'all see the end part though? The part when she said Breonna Taylor?
Yeah, we saw that too. We saw that.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Maybe mine was glitching. Okay. Well.
Yeah, no, I was actually when I was watching the BET Awards, I actually saw like people were like taking shots at her on social media, and it was just like weird. I'm like, this girl like 12 years old. Like, why are people messing with her? But then
she's very talented. It's just like y'all just want to find something.
Do y'all remember that gold medalist gymnast? Do y'all remember that gold medalist gymnast named Gabby Douglas?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she made history. First time in gold in American Olympic history that somebody won the all around in the gymnastics. And the only thing that people could focus on social media was a few strands of hair out of place on gymnastics. So I'm not surprised by this latest episode of just black haterism against each other for something so trivial.
Yeah, self-hate.
I mean, that's incredible. And I'm glad she came at it like that. You know, blew her nose with $100 bill, meaning, look, I'm getting paid. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I don't care now about what y'all saying. It hurt Gabby Douglas, and she made history. I can see that it injured Gabby Douglas, but I'm glad that this girl is strong. So,
Yeah.
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 The world is
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Romeo, no, go ahead.
No, I'm team Marseille. I'm just saying, Twitter for everybody. AR no,
They
AR.
will take you out in a day.
All right, it's somebody's report. It's up.
Let's get into it. Starting off, so for everyone who's been taking Ubers, you now have to wear a mask because they have a no mask, no ride policy indefinitely. This was extended until June, but as we know, the cases of COVID are rising, so they've extended this policy indefinitely. So you cannot get in an Uber ride without wearing a mask. This also includes your driver. So, they want you to feel safe while you're taking Ubers. Up next, we have 21 Savage doing big things for the community. He's launched a financial literacy program for the youth. He teamed up with our mayor of Atlanta, Keisha Lance Bottoms. They teamed up for this partnership through Chime, which is a banking app, and it's called the Bank Account at Home program. And it'll teach students, from elementary school to high school about how to manage and earn money and different things like that. And it will also offer scholarships for students in August. So big ups to 21 Savage. This is really important for our community to learn about financial literacy and how to manage our funds. Up next, we have NBA player Chris Paul. He has partnered with Roadside Entertainment for a new docuseries about HBCU basketball recruitment for the NBA. So obviously, the HBCUs don't have as many resources and as much support when it comes to athletics. So this is a big up, to him. He's going to be showcasing the hardships of, HBCU students when it comes to athletics, as well as the problems when it comes to recruitment for the NBA. So this is very important. He's shedding a light on this. Up next, we have some very special birthdays today. Saweetie, Burna Boy, and Ben Staples. All of them are celebrating their birthday today. So shout out to them and anyone else who is celebrating today, July 2nd. We want to send you guys some love.
All right.
We got balloons, yeah. The cake is on the way.
All right.
Because it's a holiday. Woo! You're invited, Terry. You can come along.
Keep going, Munson.
I don't even know why I'm going, Cass, by myself, You
got it.
Oh, I got it. Ain't no doubt about it. I got it.
Cass, do you get some points or money for compliments?
Once again, the
bullying. We got balloons, yeah. The cake is on the way. We got the music playing, cause it's your holiday. Woo! We invited family, and everybody came. I strike a pose for me like you in a picture frame. You got your finest clothes on, and $1 million smile. So we gon' celebrate you for a while. And don't forget we got the candles when you away. Don't forget we got the candles. Happy birthday, gonna celebrate you for a while. Candles, blowing you away. Wait. Candles. Happy birthday, happy girl. So
hands up. Make another year. Clap your hands, Terry, and get them in the air. Woo! Yeah, excited. Yeah. What's going on, Cass?
Yeah, happy birthday. That's, our go-to birthday song, Candles. So we definitely want to shout out everybody, have a safe, happy birthday today. Up next, Romeo.
Hey, first and foremost, Cass, shout out to Facebook, Michelle's son, Miss Drea Amore, Anthony Roberts, Siobhan LeConte.
What's up, Anthony, out of Detroit? Megan's son, she comes on, rolling out news at night. She's a tech entrepreneur and associate, lawyer out of DC. Thanks for checking in. She's there.
So we're gonna jump right into the social report, and I promise you, I won't August Alsina you. First and foremost, man, Netflix is investing $100 million in Black-owned businesses. Netflix became the latest corporation to invest in Black-owned banks in an effort to help close the wealth gap between Black and white Americans. Netflix is just giving away. Netflix is giving away money to Black colleges, Black banks. I might have to extend
Black CMOs,
hiring Black CEOs. I mean, not CEOs, hiring Black executives.
I might, I might have to extend my subscription. I might have to put my subscription out there for the rest of the year instead of month to month. So shout out
for sure.
Shout out to Netflix. Also on the docket today with our great producer Ashley and her friend Portia. Also on the docket today, we got Diddy. Shout out to Diddy, man. Today in hip hop history. Diddy released the album No Way Out 23 years ago. This was a classic hip hop album. We talking about Victory. We talking about Been Around the World. We talking about All About the Benjamins, the remix. Y'all didn't know about All About the Benjamins. So shout out to Diddy. Plus, on top of the playing field, we also have, I was wondering if they're gonna hit the flip button. Boom! Also on this day, 1964, President Lyndon B. Johnson signed into law the Civil Rights Act, which declared it's unlawful to discriminate against any individual because of their race, color, religion, sex, and national origin on this day. Now, I'm pretty sure President Johnson didn't know what's going on today, but clearly at that moment in time in history, that was a happy day at that one moment in time. Now, if he saw 2020, July the 2nd, I don't know. But outside of that, man, that's Romeo International with your social report. I will be giving y'all an update because Spelman, Morehouse, and Clark was trending yesterday. Spelman is mad. They're very, very mad. So I'm gonna get y'all that update soon, man.
Come on.
So adding to Netflix, like we were saying, they always, drop like new Black content every month. So for the month of July, actually, The Last Dance will be on Netflix starting July, as well as like Ali, This Christmas, and some other, Black films. So y'all can definitely check that out.
Thanks, Cass.
The Last Dance. Hold on. Do you really want to count The Last Dance?
Do you what?
Is that the one with the white girl loves?
No, Michael Jordan, The Last Dance.
Oh, my fault.
You thinking about
I know it. It's called Last Dance, I think.
The documentary.
The documentary.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I was like, Black films. I don't know if that count, but okay. Oh man. Good morning to everybody though. We here. It's Thursday, July the 2nd. Aliens are coming heard in August. I heard they're coming in August.
Let's get ready for it, man. Let's kick into my report, man. Give you guys some more information about what's happening across the country, especially with these masks. This brother right here, this is Mayor Quentin Lucas in Kansas City. And man, the thing is this, he's trying to be proactive. He's trying to save lives. So last Friday, he implemented a plan that said everyone in the city who comes into Kansas City, if they want to go into a venue, they have to wear a mask. And so, of course, you have these people on the other side of the political spectrum. They took aim at him, and he received a text message that said, "You are such a piece of shit N-word." And the next text said, "You should swing from a tree. I'm not threatened, but I would love to see it." So basically, they're threatening to hang this man, and they call him the N-word, only because he basically just said that he wanted to protect his citizens by enforcing them to wear masks. And it shouldn't even be a debate. It should be a national thing where everyone is forced to wear masks when they're in public places. But of course, we want to give a shout out to Quentin Lucas. Want to definitely reach out to him to see if we can get him on the show. But he definitely had to experience some real hate, just because he wanted to save some lives, which is ridiculous. So let's go to the next report. All right, this right here happened in the D-Town, home of our one of our lovely producers. We're gonna play this video. Detroit.
You gotta play the video. You gotta play the video.
Yeah, we got to play the video. I know you guys heard a lot of screams, a lot of
video.
You can hear the video, but we want to show the video. We can hear.
That's a silent. That's a non-moving video, right? That's a sound video.
There we go. Let's go back.
Y'all better move.
So yeah, of course this happened in Detroit. A peaceful protest in Detroit, and the police officers, for whatever reason, their claim is that someone broke out the back of their window with a hammer, and they thought that they were going to get shot. But as you see in the video, they plowed ahead twice, and this is a similar situation to what happened in Charlottesville when that racist Nazi plowed into the crowd and he killed a woman. And he was actually, I think he's actually was sentenced to life in prison. But we see the police officer using their vehicle as a weapon. No. But unfortunately, police chief James Craig has come to the defense of the police officer and said that they did the right thing because the police officer thought that they were under attack. I don't know. I didn't see anything in that video that said that they were under attack. The people were a threat. No. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Terry. Let's go ahead.
No, it ain't the same thing, dude. You don't surround a police car. You don't surround a police car, lean on it. I mean, you just don't. That's not an act of civil rights. That is a threatening act, in my opinion. I'm thinking about what I felt when when I'm at a club and people didn't want to do it. When I was in the military and a cop, and I had a gun, I had a rifle and a 9mm on me, and people surrounded because they didn't want to close the club early, and they wanted to surround the vehicle. I felt threatened. Nah, dude, that's not civil rights act to me. That's just my opinion.
No. We in the video, you can see the cop pulled ahead once and he accelerated twice. So there was an instance where he had an opportunity to not use his vehicle as a weapon. I understand that you have to protect yourself, but you don't have to. I saw what I saw in that video was that he accelerated, faster than what was that? He mashed on the gas.
Yeah, but that's a bad organizing position for people in even peaceful protest. I mean, when you play into the hand of a blue code, like people are gonna always. The jury would be just as this panel right here. That's not good organizing. That's crazy organizing. That is crazy. It's two police officers. You can just see it going down in court. Two police officers. You're getting in front of my car. This car is moving. And you're listening. That's when you need leadership. Let the police go. What do you want? Why do you want to hold a police car? Like that's not smart. I mean, that's when the organizers literally are putting their protesters in harm's way. Like, why would you want to hold a police car from leaving? Like, that don't even make sense to me.
So you think it makes sense for a police officer to accelerate?
I'm trying to point to the sometimes our protests have to be organized. We have to learn from these scenarios. We don't want our young people to think that you want to get in front of a police car. Help me, Terry. You don't want to get in front of a police car. You don't want to surround a police car.
I gotta say,
Romeo,
I'm on King James' side because AR, from what I'm looking like, not only are you surrounding my car, you hop on my car. I accelerate a little bit. You chase my car and hop right back on my car. I don't know, man.
The man was hanging off the car. He didn't hop on the car while it's
think
moving.
I think the thing is this. I from what I saw in the video, he accelerated once, and that was okay. That second acceleration outside where there was still like he basically mashed on the gas, like, and using it as a weapon. Like I think there's better ways to.
That's not pressure for a lot of young people. They need to understand that is a problem. You don't want to fall into traps.
No, I'm saying.
Anytime we can debate the issue, move out of the way. Let the police go on wherever they're headed.
No,
I'm surround a police car. It is not going to end well.
No,
but it doesn't give them the right. You gotta understand, it still doesn't give them the right to use their vehicle.
It doesn't. Right. No, Amir, it does not. And I agree that he used maximum force. They always use maximum force when it's not necessary. What I'm saying is that the protesters should not have been surrounding and encircling the police car in the first place. What are you going to get out of that act? And what do you think is going to when it's going to happen when the police can say that they feel threatened? Nothing good is going to come out of that particular act. They could have done something else. Don't even get in their way. But if you're going to get in their way, don't surround the car. It was completely encircled. He had no place to go.
Lay down in the street. If you're all that, just lay down in the street.
Oh, they definitely
want to do that. Then get 20 people lay down in the street in front of the police car. But don't just sit there and surround the police car, because they're going to use that. They're going to show other police that have been attacked in their cars. They're going to show where police have been sitting in their cars doing nothing in Brooklyn and they get shot. They're going to play all those tapes too.
I think as officers, if you're paid by citizens to protect citizens, I think you really have to think through situations. You can't use your vehicle as a weapon. I'm not
thinking about a situation where I can't. It's volatile. People are screaming, and all of a sudden I'm surrounded and outnumbered 20-2. That does not sound like a safe circumstance, and that's when they want that immunity. That's when they get ready to reflect on immunity. Help me, King James. That's when they go with that immunity. I was thinking that my life was in danger. So I shot 8 of y'all.
No, that's what I'm saying. I mean, they're trying to use that same kind of excuse in Kentucky, where the guy lawfully shot back in the dark, and that's the reason why they shot Breonna Taylor 20 times, because he shot them first in the leg. Now they've had to change their course because of the fact that they had to drop the charges against the man that was with Breonna Taylor. But she's still dead. She's still dead. That could have turned out tragic in Detroit because of the fact that the people actively surrounded the car. I agree. But you accelerate once, you get people up off you. You don't need to accelerate again, and you don't need to drive off at 50 miles an hour with somebody on your hood. All that is wrong. But
so what's the option?
But don't surround the car. Don't surround the car.
No, King James. Hold on. I'm curious. What's the option, AR? What's the option?
You don't accelerate your vehicle. You don't mash on the gas when somebody's on your hood like that. I think you're basically saying I'm going to kill you. You're missing
the point, Amir.
I'm not missing the point.
We don't want protesters that are doing things that can be questioned. We don't want protesters surrounding police cars. We don't want our young people.
Is there a law that says you can't surround a police car? If there's a law that says you can't surround a police car, please pull that up.
No, there is no law. I mean, there is no law, but I mean, I said there is no law that says you can't surround it. But what I'm saying is the application of some reasonable and common sense saying, don't surround a police car, banging on the windows and shouting at them.
No, banging is against the law. Banging is against the law. I didn't want to have to check, Amir. Banging is against the law.
But does it give the right? Does it give the okay? That's
you can't bang on a car. You can't hit somebody.
Does it give the officer the right to
I can feel like that was an assault on me at that moment.
Does it give the officer the right to use the vehicle as a weapon?
If his life's in danger, you're in trouble, brother. It's not. You can't win. They're gonna lose. That's bad protesting, because then we give them the excuse to use force. We can't give them an excuse.
What was the violent act? Did you guys see a violent act in that video?
They were definitely banging on the car.
When he hopped on the car.
Banged on the car.
I didn't see him hop on the car personally. I saw the man ram into them, and the man ended up on the hood of the car.
Okay, Amir, let's put it this way. You're talking about where was the threat? If me and you are walking down the hall or rolling out, and I stop and I stare at you, and I get a defensive posture with my fist up, but I haven't attacked you yet, that is threatening. So you're going to obviously defend yourself. You're going to prepare to defend yourself. Those officers felt threatened because their car was surrounded. That's the only. That's the part.
Okay, Terry. Let's go down this road. If you ball up your fist and I pull out a gun and I shoot you, I've really overstepped my boundaries.
Okay,
if you
I agree.
Up your fist and I pull out my gun and shoot you, I've overstepped my boundaries. And that's what that cop did by accelerating in that crowd. You don't have to accelerate your vehicle.
You're correct, and I already agree.
That's my only point.
He has to wait until somebody breaks out his window. I don't think so.
But I agree with you on the point about acceleration, because he did not have to keep going and accelerate, stop, and then go at 50 miles an hour with somebody on the hood. My point is that when we are exercising our constitutional rights to stand up for our own justice and equality, there's certain things that we should and should not do. And one of them is surrounding a police car with them in it. And thinking there's going to be a positive outcome. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I think people have to use common sense, but at the same time, I think the police officers, they have to be aware of what their surroundings as well. Like you shouldn't use your
get away from my car. Stop. Get away from my car. Would have expected to hear some of that too. Get off my car. Get away from my car.
But you got to add in the fact, and you know I'm always on your side, but you got to add in the fact of what Mr. Steve said. The protest sucked. I ain't trying to be funny. It was unorganized. They out there. Why can't you just let the car go?
Don't put our protesters in harm's way, please.
Those 5 people who started that.
Yeah, do not get a police officer pass. They cannot use their vehicle as a weapon. Do not allow these people to use vehicles as weapons, because then you set a precedent that they can use their vehicle as a weapon. Do not do that.
Yeah, it's not a precedent, bro. We're just sitting here organizing so we live to see another day. That's a bad court case there. Bro.
Okay, let me ask you and Cass, as y'all on the same side of this.
Would y'all got to guess
if y'all part of a crowd, would you surround and bang on the police on the windows of a police car with them in it and with them having their guns in there? You know what I'm saying? They're armed.
Yeah, I definitely think that the first action of the surrounding. And this is what it was. The police officers drove through the crowd. Like the crowd was already there, and they were attempting to drive through, and the crowd was already there. So that they were already in the midst of the crowd. So the crowd was already there, and the police were trying to get through. And so instead of you're right. Okay, the whoever the protesters were, they should have gotten out of the way. But they didn't, for whatever reason. I don't know what was going on with it.
Well, we just want us to be organized. We feel you, but we just want our community to be organized and learn from this.
That's the thing though. It's like
your guest is here.
That's just like
your guest is here. The guest is here. But we can pick it up on the other side.
We'll ask the guest.
We'll ask the guest. All right. Ask the guest.
Hey man, it's
Thursday.
No, this is a great topic, this is a great topic, and I love intellectual debates and exchanges. So I hope that we continue. We can continue this a little bit later. But for right now, we have a business superstar, an entrepreneur, an author, and a remarkable woman who has overcome, some would say, insurmountable obstacles in her life. Excuse me, to arrive at the pinnacle of business in America. So. I wanted to introduce our next guest, who is free to come on whenever she can. We would like to introduce our guest, Keisha Greene, who is a superstar out there, and she has a dynamic and remarkable story of success. Uh,
I gotta
how you
go.
doing today,
Ask Keisha.
Great morning.
Good morning. You probably saw the
Morning.
debate that was raging on about police force and people surrounding vehicles. You know, I won that debate, but we're not going to talk about that right now.
Oh my God.
But
we're giving the moral victory.
Yeah. So we wanted to have you introduce yourself and just give a quick rundown of your remarkable success, and then we'll have some questions after that. But,
all right, everyone. So my name is Keisha.
The floor is yours.
Hey, everyone. Great morning. Great morning. I first like to just say thank you all so much for just having me out here this morning. I am not a morning person, but I was like, girl, get up and get ready. Okay. So I am Keisha Greene. I go by the Legless Diva. I am the founder of the Love and Legs Foundation. I am a national and a network marketing company, Total Life Changes. I also run a 10 salon suite building in the Atlanta area. That's who I am. I build luxury with accessibility. I do some real estate investing, and I like to tap into things that have to do with the accessibility of what people will consider the disability community.
I see. And you're also an author, and also you have various business interests that you've done over the time. So please run that down just real quick, right quick.
Yes, so I am an author of 2 books. My first one is called Walking Through It All, and the second book is called Severed to Faith. I chose those titles because Walking Through It All was important for me originally when I first came home very early in the process. After that, I realized that I had been severed to faith. So I decided to not walk anymore, and I wanted people to understand that I knew that I was placed right where I was supposed to be and that I'm perfectly made just the way that I am.
Okay. So now, when you were growing up, you grew up under impoverished circumstances, and yet you were able to blaze a trail of success, and then you moved to Atlanta, and then you were part of an unfortunate accident. Walk us through that in terms of helping our audience to understand that just because you have some setbacks in life, that things don't go well, maybe even some tragedy strikes, but you can still pursue and accomplish your dreams.
Well, the thing is, I'm from the number 8 poverty city. So I'm originally from Syracuse, New York, which is upstate New York. It's more like closer to Buffalo, the Albany area. It's really rough there. And, you know, back in 2009, I made the decision that I was going to uproot my boys because I am a single mom of 3 boys. My boys are not small anymore, though. They are 21, 18, and 14. And I truly just enjoy them as a mom of 3 Black kings. I could truly just hear some of the things that you guys are going on about. And, you know, so what I can say is when I moved here, I really wanted to be able to show my boys Black male opportunity. And because where I'm from, that was very limited for them to be able to see. I wanted to bring them here so they can actually know that they could be anything they wanted to be. So I moved here to Atlanta in 2011. Just really living life regular. I had started a hair extension business. And just like instantly, August the 23rd, 2013, I'm coming home, me and some friends from downtown. My passenger grabbed the wheel. I lost both legs. And they were both severed by the guardrail. I just truly trusted God through that process. So being in a hospital, I just would pay attention to small little words that the doctors would say. They said most people are in a hospital for a year and most people walk in 18 months. But I truly knew in that moment that I wasn't most people already. So with that being said, it was just amazing that I was able to come home in 3.5 weeks out of the hospital and just truly begin to trust my process and the transition to move forward.
Okay, before I pass it on to Cassie, I just wanted, you said something striking. You said one of your friends grabbed the wheel. Were you guys just joking, having fun, and it just went out of control?
We actually weren't. She thought that I was going to hit the passenger in front of us. So she grabbed the wheel and we went across all 4 lanes.
Oh my God.
Oh, okay. Okay. But okay. Well, we can get into that a little bit later. I wanted to make sure that Cassidy and my fellow co-host Amir had the questions. Cassidy, strike first.
Definitely. I wanted to talk to you about Legless Wheelchair Divas and just what inspired you to start this. I mean, like you say, you were going through your own, process of coming to grips with what had happened to you. But what made you want to start this organization and help other people who were in your similar circumstances?
Well, I wanted to start the Legless and the Wheelchair Divas because I realized that people had set boundaries for what disability was supposed to look like, what amputation looked like, what women in wheelchair looks like. And I was like, listen, I'm about to turn this thing up a notch. Like, I'm getting ready to burn rubber in my lane. And I knew that there was some women out there that felt the same way. And they needed to be able to connect with other women who also felt that way. But I also knew, no, you know, again, just the reason why I brought my boys to Atlanta was to show them things. So people need to see that it's okay for them to be the way that they are and to actually still look fly, move in business. Like, I decided that disability wasn't going to be me. So I like to teach them how to boss with ability, not really focus on what you can't do, but let's focus on what you can do. Focus on your audience that's for you, you know. And I knew that those women needed that. I never knew an amputee before me. Never. So I knew it was very important for these women to be able to connect. So that's why I really wanted to do it, because I didn't know anyone.
I wanna ask you about Ticket to Transformation. How did that series come about, and like what are some of the things that you do to, I guess, help those who witnessed this series?
Well, Ticket to Transformation, I started to just be able to help people to use what they're going through as a ticket. So Ticket to Transformation is like, yes, you transform, you will realize that it's to better you. It's your ticket to the next place. It's going to take you, you're going to be able to enter into that next ring and that next event and that next door, that next opportunity that's for you if you're willing to take this ticket and you're willing to embrace the transformation. So that's why I wanted to do that. And that's basically what happens in the process of Ticket to Transformation.
Definitely.
Okay. Moving forward, first of all, you would win an award for Zoom background. So yeah, so we're going to submit your picture to the Zoom people nationally. So if they have an award for backgrounds, I mean, that is just spectacular. It's lovely. I love it.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's just about as bright and as effervescent as your personality. So I just wanted to let you know that.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah. So what I wanted to know is that, some people are crippled, absolutely crippled and defeated by circumstances that are beyond their control. Something happened to you that was not fair. A lot of things happen to us. Life is never fair. It's never been fair.
Wait. Nothing happened to me. Something happened for me.
Whoa.
Okay.
Whoa.
You're right.
Wow. Okay. That's deep. I don't even have anything to say with that about that. I'm about the most loquacious person you'll ever meet. You know what I'm saying? I can talk, but I ain't have nothing to say to that. So something happened for you.
Yes.
Okay. So it was part of God's plan, and it is coming to fruition. So what I'm saying is that talk to the people further, even more, because that one just threw me back. That hit me against the wall, and you see, it took me a minute. I was wobbling against the rope. So talk to us about how you could take whatever happens to you in life, whether you think it or they think it's fair or unfair, and make it work for them. Talk to us about that.
The thing is, there's something special when you're able to sit back and you're able to be in a place of brokenness. But I believe that there's power in being able to brand from a broken place. And I believe that I've truly been able to brand from a broken place. So when you're able to, again, like I was saying, trust that process and be able to take the what over the why. So for me, I never went to a place of why. I never asked God, why did this happen to me? But I asked him, what did he want me to do with this? I was like, I know you ain't just making me a bill and a burden.
Hercules.
I was like, I know you didn't just make me a bill and a burden. And he began to show me things. So when he spoke to me and said that the legs that you had was not strong enough to walk into the territory that I had for you, that right there, I was like, okay, wait a minute. I was standing in my own way. He has territory for me to go into, and I was being held back by the legs. So I trusted that. And there's something about knowing, I tell people that God walks for me and I just roll with it.
Woo! Okay, I'm about to pass around the offering plate, but instead, I'll go ahead and pass the ball to Amir, who has another question.
I want you to. How did you get to that point? Because the thing is this: when you have individuals who experience a situation where can from the outside seems tragic, they may fall into a depression. So how did you get from that state of depression into that state of confidence and in a place where you can inspire others? How does that transformation occur?
You said, how did I go from that state of depression? I want to honestly tell you, I never had a state of depression. I have some videos very early on YouTube. Huh? You have to remember, when I spend the 2 days, they stay on the respirator. I spend 2 days with the Lord. And that's when he told me that the legs that I had wasn't strong enough. He also told me he was going to remove the anger and the fear, and he was going to give me a peace. And to go back to what Cass asked me earlier, that's another reason why I started the group, is because I wanted to be able to have empathy. I wanted to be able to understand what the other women were feeling, because I did know, and I still know, that my story was extremely miraculous. So I never went through that stage. I've never been in any type of counseling. Today, I don't take no type of pain pills. So like through this process, I have to connect with other women to be able to understand those stories. Like I have the women, they're constantly going to the doctors and getting injections. So sometimes that pain and that memory is constantly being renewed through that medication that they're taking, through that treatment that they're getting, through that physical therapy that they're having. And I realized that for me, when I was walking into prosthetics, because I did walk in 8 months, to God be the glory, he did that for me. I did walk in 8 months, but I realized that I was doing and I was blending in to what the world felt like I should look like, when God had created a lane that was for me, and I needed to trust that. Okay, so with these women, when they go through that, for me, I realized when I stopped wearing the legs, I was no longer going to therapy 3 times a week. I was no longer paying attention to if the levels of the ground were right. Was I going to fall? Was I going to trip? So I was able to create all these businesses and brand from a broken place, because I wasn't broken trying to blend in.
Wow.
So I didn't have that place. So I gained that through other women's stories and through their testimonies and being able to go through those things. So I've had other things that hurt me way more than this.
Wow. I mean, I'm really moved. Like your faith and you're not questioning God and his divine order for your life is just super inspiring to me. I mean, people question God every day about things that are way less impactful to their lives. So I really commend you on that. I wanted to, ask you about some of the services and things that you offer to the other women through your organization, because you obviously have this spirit and this energy, but you're also offering services to them outside of, just your powerful words.
Well, what I like to do for the women is, first of all, I like to use the platform and the spotlight that people put on me to actually shine it on them, because I believe some of these women are so courageous and so inspirational, and they just need to know that the world needs them. So what I do is I usually do like these huge photo shoots. I bring them in, we do these huge makeovers. And because a lot of the times when the women actually register to be legless and wheelchair divas, they don't feel like divas. So then we transform them. We have them looking beautiful. We do photo shoots and things like that. Again, we like pick their brains and see where they are, give them some coaching so they could brand from a broken place. What can I do? What am I able to be? So that's what I do within the Divas, and kind of that's what we work together to just be fly.
I love it.
See, man, I wish we had a lot more time to sit there and talk with you, but thank you for blessing us. Thank you for coming on and sprinkling some love and some faith in that powerful testimony, and how you basically, it's not, they say 99% of life is not what happens to you, but how you view life. And you view it in a totally different way that is empowering. And I admire you for that. Like I said, your personality, that inner spirit, that inner light you have is as effervescent as your background. So I just want to thank you for showering.
Well, I like to say thank you again. And when you talk about the 90% of how you handle it, I'm going to say this, and then I'm going to just greatly appreciate you guys for having me. I often tell people, who needs legs when we're all working for wings?
Hey. There's another one. You hit me again. I'm wobbling. But okay. Before we go, tell people where you can contact as we close out, where they can get in touch with you and read more about you.
All right, so you can actually find
and get your books.
Yeah, you can actually find me on Instagram at I am Keisha Greene, and you can KeishaGreene.com. You can get my books. You can find me on Facebook, Keisha Greene. If you just Google the Legless Diva, you'll find me. It's 1,000,001 Keishas, but there's only one Keisha Greene, the Legless Diva, and that's me.
Hold on.
Yes.
I gotta stop from crying over here. Renee Tyler says,
Woo! Thank you for your blessing. And we got to bring you back on one of our platforms. We got to bring you back. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We had some Facebook comments. Terry, you shut down Facebook. Renee Tyler said, thank you. Siobhan LeConte said, she is surely blessed. Ann Whitley said, I needed that this morning. Janice Simmons said, this is unbelievable. Her spirit, her heart, this is up, man. I'm speechless. I don't know what to say, man.
Thank you, guys. That's amazing. Please bring me back. I'm honored, and I'm gonna be
you ought to come
sitting
back
here
regularly.
waiting.
We want you to come back regularly to give inspiration. I was listening to your testimony, and I was giving the idea of when Jesus walked on water, and the fact that you are still walking through this life, that you are transforming people's courage to understand that we all walk in spirit versus walk physically. And you're walking to everyone that you touch. So God bless you. And we love you.
Thank you.
All
God
right.
bless you. I love you guys.
Thank you.
Take care.
Man, Terry, I gotta go.
Powerful, man.
That was great.
Thank you.
Her spirit is infectious.
Rolling out AM, the wake up call. Wake up, wake up, wake up. It is my favorite. First Lady. How are you?
Good morning. I'm so excited to be a part of the Rolling Out family. Thank you.
Always.
We so appreciate always being a part.
Good morning. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning.
We're so excited to have you this morning. Thank you for joining us.
It is that moment that we have the beautiful pleasure of Dr. Tyra Jenkins, First Lady, God's favorite. Wants you to know, we are so inspired by the healing words that you brought for many at this time during the pandemic. You have a new book, and it's called
Enoughness.
All right. And how'd you come with that title?
Enoughness is the journey to discovering who you already are. Each of us has enough of what we need to do what we're called to do. But sometimes we are always reminded of our not enoughness. And so I'm just ready to see everybody walk in their enoughness and get excited to do everything that's in you to do. You've already been pre-packed with all the gifts you need, all the courage you need, all the faith you need to accomplish what God wants you to do during your time on earth. So enoughness is that ingredient that says you are enough.
Cass?
Yes.
That's awesome. And I like your sweatshirt as well. I think that's really powerful. I wanted to talk to you about this. You have this conversation series around enough and enoughness. Tell us a little bit about it and, how people can get involved and, about the book.
Absolutely. So I, for the last 2 decades, have been convening women, wives, and girls in different sacred spaces, most of them faith-lifting events. And no matter how big the person's stage has been, no matter how big that person's reach is perceived, each of us, I've learned, is dealing with some area where we feel like we're not enough, or we were treated as if we would never be enough. So every week we platform someone and hear their enoughness journey. We see them go from feeling like they were not enough or being treated like they would never be enough, maybe it was the color of their skin, maybe it was an economic background. And then we see that transition to them functioning and flowing as if they know that they are enough already. So we've been blessed to have people like Michelle Williams and Adrienne Bayon and Megan Good and Erica Campbell and Deborah Joy Winans, and the list goes on. But every single time we see that they started out with some feelings of not enoughness.
I want to talk about, how to use this ministry during this time. So many people have lost jobs. So many people have had to pivot in life. What's the message that you tell people right now about how to stay mentally strong and how to know that there's still enough during this pandemic?
I feel like this time is what we're on right now, a wake-up call. It's like this moment in history that's unprecedented where everybody is simultaneously on time out. And during timeout, there's a huddle. During timeout, there's reassignment. During timeout, there's a time of resetting. And I think we have this divine opportunity to see what are the areas that I've been ignoring my enoughness. What is it that you've been too busy, too overwhelmed, and your life as you knew it was actually suppressing that area of gifting and talent that you had? Like, what is it that you wanted to be when you grew up, when you were in kindergarten, raising your hand? Whatever that is, this is a time for you to dig deep and say, what could I use this moment to rediscover? How could I reintroduce myself to the world once we call the world opening up? No such thing as going back to normal. It's all about discovering our new normals. And this is a time for us to have an interactive experience during this writing of the book. At the end of each section, and I believe there's 6 stages to enoughness. At the end of each section, it's a time and an exercise for you to write down some things, and it will help you discover what has been lying dormant. So this is a wake-up call for that has been in you. There's a scripture that says, stir up the gift that's in you. And if you've ever done any cooking, sometimes you have to stir, and what was at the bottom comes to the top and starts moving, and it's no longer stuck to the bottom of the pot and burning up because of the fire that you've been in.
Nice.
Cass?
Definitely. We just had a guest on. I'm not sure if you were able to see her, but she was actually an amputee, and her spirit was so, it was all about her trust in God and her faith in this moment. What message of faith do you have, right now? Like you said, we're going through tumultuous times, but how important is faith, just of a mustard seed during this moment?
I was so blessed by the previous guest, Keisha, the legless diva, because one of my stages of enoughness is called just enough. And it's about focusing on what you don't have and watching God get the glory through what you don't have. And her story was just a beautiful personification of that, because we see that God's sufficiency always comes and overwhelms us in our areas of insufficiency. And so when we say we're enough, that doesn't mean there's not room for improvement. When we say we're enough, that doesn't mean that we're at a place of perfection. We're at a place of progression. And what is it that God wants to use through what you don't have? And so this time in life, some people don't have a 9-to-5. Some people don't have the opportunity to go to work in the way that they used to. Some people don't have those educational opportunities that they thought they were going to have. But what is it that God wants to do with what you don't have? There's a Gospel of John passage that talks about a man who was laid by the pool of Bethesda for 38 years. And for 38 years, he had been looking at the water for the way that he would get healed. And so when Jesus comes to him and says, "Do you even want to be well?" He says, "Well, when it's time to get in the water and the water is stirred, somebody always gets in front of me and they get their healing and I don't." But what we see is that Jesus says, "Pick up your bed and walk." So when he actually gets healed, it has nothing to do with the water. And some people, up until this moment in history, they've been looking one direction for their blessings, looking one direction for their upgrade, looking one direction for their promotion, looking at one area, one industry, one focus. But the way that you may be about to be elevated could be in a completely different industry than the direction that you've been looking. And so this is a time for us to take the blinders off of looking just one direction for our increase in our income and figuring out, is there something else that I'm supposed to be doing in this season? This is a season for reinvention.
Amen.
That's super powerful.
Amen. You know, it's true. And I think the beauty of enoughness is it lets people understand you don't have to give away your confidence. You got all the confidence with you and your God that you'll ever need. So I love that there's a workbook in it. Is this something that mothers and daughters can do, families can do, so they can actually work through this?
Absolutely. We've had church groups going through it. We've had not church groups going through it. We've had families going through it, and we've had men going through it, because it's not a gender specific book. It is for anybody that needs to discover who they already are. Maybe you need to find out that you're man enough. Maybe you need to figure out that you're woman enough, wife enough, husband enough, mother enough. And so in it, it's a great thing to do with somebody who knows you well. If you need help, even in those interactive experiences in the workbook, because sometimes other people can see us in areas and see things about us that we can't see in ourselves. And so one of the things that we talk about is looking through the labels that have been put on you through your whole journey up to this point right now. And sometimes the people around you can say, oh yeah, you've been wearing this label, but that label needs to be peeled off, scrubbed off. You need a little elbow grease to get that label off of you. And so it's great to go through it as a family. Or if you may have some labels you don't want to uncover around your family, you can go through it with a group of strangers or by yourself. It's a journey that no matter what group you go through it with, or if you're alone, you're going to discover some things that you forgot that you forgot.
Yeah, I know there's a lot I forgot today. Every day seems like the yesterday. Every day seems like the same day, but I know that it isn't. I love that you're giving people tools to be able to approach their faith and have experiences with God. What type meditative state is our community able to find themselves there? How can they meditate with this book?
I feel like it's time for each of us to have moments of unplugging. And so, sometimes when we're looking at repairing something in our home, all it needs to do is be unplugged, rest, and then plug back up. And so as people go through this journey, the 6 stages of enoughness, going from feeling like you were never enough to realizing that you had enough, to deciding that enough is enough, to knowing that you got just enough of what you need in spite of what you don't have, to realizing you're enough already. And the last stage is saying, enough said. There's been enough said about you in scripture for you to believe what God said. And so you don't have to thumb through all 66 books of the Bible. I've pulled out scriptures that complete the 6th stage of enoughness for you to say them every day, for you to read them every day. And if you want to pray the scriptures, you can do that as well. And so that is a thing you can do during your unplugging time. Go to that 6th stage and just read what God says about you. And when you realize there's enough said, you got to know that you're enough already to face everybody who feels like you're never enough. Everybody that thinks you're the wrong race, you're the wrong class, you're the wrong educational status, you're the wrong whatever. This enoughness is going to make you rediscover, I am enough already.
All right, so we're gonna throw it to the show everyone the book right now.
Enoughness, the journey to discovering who you already are. That's so beautiful.
Thank you. I'm so honored to be a part of this conversation this morning and this wake-up call, so we can wake up and realize that we are enough.
Thank you so much. Love you guys. Miss you guys.
Thank you. Appreciate you. You're part of the Steed family and the Rolling Out family forever.
Yeah.
Before
Tell my brother I'm calling.
you get out of here, before you get out of here, please share where everyone can get the book and connect with you.
You can go to TyraJenkinsOnline.com, or you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. Simply Dr. Tyra Jenkins.
Super. We love you.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you all. Have a
Take
great
care.
morning.
You too.
Thanks so much. Love her spirit. She does a phenomenal job. Cass in the city, Rolling Out AM, the wake up call. What's going on, Amir Shaw?
Definitely, man. We need this, two inspiring sisters, man. I think we needed that. We needed that inspiration. They gave us some great words, some advice during this time, man. I really appreciate both of those sisters for really dropping knowledge on us and inspiration.
I agree. Definitely two powerful messages for us on this Thursday, for those who are going through and for all of us just trying to get through this moment right now.
All right, so we have our next guest.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm awesome. How are you guys doing today?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
We are good.
Oh, now, wake up call. We're wide awake and waking up to beautiful, phenomenal individuals like yourself. So you got it going on. Stars in the building. So our stars have aligned.
Well, thank you guys for having us.
Definitely. So we're waiting for Christian Keys right now. He's gonna join us. But before, I guess, while we wait for him, can you give us some information about who you are? Just let the people know your journey.
Yeah, of course. My name is Javicia Leslie. I am in Carl Weber's The Family Business. We're coming out for season 2, starting today on BET Plus. A little bit personal. I'm from the Washington, D.C. area. I was born in Germany, but raised there. I'm a military brat. I graduated from Hampton University. So shout out to all my HBCUs. Yes, HU, all the HUs.
Cass went to Howard.
I'm here for it. I'm from DC. I'm here for it. I'm not here to fight us at all.
Yes, shout out. Shout out to the HBCUs for sure.
Yeah, we're divided enough. We don't need to divide the education.
Say it loud. Say it loud.
So I've been out here in California since 2012, and I'm excited for a second season of our hit BET show, written and created by Carl Weber from his best-selling book series, The Family Business.
Well, our brother has joined us. What's going on, Christian Keys?
Welcome. It's so early over here.
Dang, it's early.
Man.
You a soldier. Come on, man. You a soldier.
I can handle it, trust me. Listen, the fact that anybody wants to talk to me early in the morning, I'm going to get my goofy behind up and I'm going to participate.
True professional. We love it.
So let's get into it, man. Let's talk about this series. We bring it back.
Why not?
So let's get into it, man. What can fans expect from this season of the series?
Ladies first. I say, you know what? I should probably turn my phone this way, like everybody else. I should probably do that. I say we let Javicia handle that question first. Ladies first, queens first.
Well, I would say we left off, or we're starting where we left off from season 1, where we're really just trying to calm the tension that Paris started with the Zuniga family. We're like the hit Black mafia family of New York. And with that, there's also coming a lot of drama, just family drama, with Elsie and his children. And my character's name is Paris. I play the youngest brat. And I kind of got our family in a lot of trouble last season. So last season we were kind of like digging ourselves out of that while also like beating everybody's butts. And we started a new drug called Heat, which is what's bringing in season 2, because now we are coming in with the heat and everybody wants to be a part of it. Everyone wants to be the main distributor. So we're going back and forth about that. But then there's also like a lot of family drama this season. But I will tell you, Paris isn't in all of it, which usually she is this season. She's found love, which Christian Key's character plays Niles. And the original book, To Paris with Love, is the book where their characters get introduced and they kind of like fall in love. But the issue is they don't really know who each other is.
Yeah.
So they fall in love, but don't realize like Christian's a hitman and I am the daughter of a mob family.
Right, and you're an assassin too. Like neither one of us knows, and I think that's the dopest part. Is like our characters, Niles and Paris, feel for each other, but neither one knows. Like okay, yeah, she's beautiful. Yeah, our energy is great. Yeah, our connection is great. Yeah, everything is great, but she doesn't know I kill people for a living, and I don't know that you do as well.
Right, nor that I am from the family that I'm from, which is a big deal in this world we live in.
Right.
So it's fun.
Go ahead, Romeo.
No, I was gonna say, Christian, you know your cover is hanging up in the Rolling Out office, and I don't know if you ever heard this, but people say we look alike. That's what I heard. I don't know if you get. That's what I heard.
Oh my God.
We're gonna have to play cousins in something, and we're gonna have to play, you're gonna have to be my cousin in something.
But my question,
kill you in the family business, or we can
you know what,
and we can shoot you in the family business.
Kill me. Yeah, you want to shoot.
Yeah, why not?
My question to you is more related to today. How have you been dealing with the new normal? Between keeping an edge on your craft and also being aware of the times of now.
Just kind of leading with balance. I'm passionate about it. I was down at a protest yesterday. I didn't necessarily speak. I didn't need to, but I needed to be there because we were trying to take some of that $3 billion that they were trying to give the LAPD and give some of that back to community organizations that are going to benefit us. I just think that in the midst of this, I'm angry and I want to tear stuff up, but also I got too much to lose to be out here acting ridiculous and burning and breaking stuff. And yes, I want to be clear. I'm from Flint, Michigan, and I want to behave that way, if I'm being honest, but there are other things that we can do to get what we need, to pass legislation, to continue to protest and march, to sign petitions, to call these governors and state attorneys and get certain things done. And we're making some progress, and we just got to keep going. I think the longer we're consistent with it, the more we can get done. But I'm trying to do it with balance. I think that's the best way to say it. It's frustrating because every couple of days is another hashtag and it's another name, and you find out another horrific story every couple of days, and it's like dealing with PTSD almost. It's like every time I gotta watch somebody die on video, it triggers something that I've been through already, and then I'm re-traumatized when I'll have to watch them go home and drink Pabst Blue Ribbon, or have to watch the guys who killed George Floyd at Walmart shopping for Oreos and plead not guilty to the fact that they know they killed this man. So it's a lot, but I'm here for the ride. I'm built for the ride. I can handle it.
Kristen, before we move forward, I gotta ask you about this, man, because you were a victim of a Karen gone wild. Can you explain that situation and what happened, man? I mean, I saw the video. How did you become a victim of a Karen gone wild? What was that situation about?
I hike these secluded stairs probably 4 or 5 times a week at least. And they're in the Hollywood Hills area kind of. And she would come out and bother us, bother everybody. I just think she's, certain people are just unhappy. Certain people are just like, hey, I don't like my life. So I'm gonna harass everybody else because I'm miserable. And that's her. And I had a feeling she was gonna do that one day. I had my phone with me. I told my buddy Brian, who's a personal trainer. I'm like, yo, she gonna cut up today. I can smell her in the air. And so I recorded it. And you can respond to negativity with wit and intellect, or you can respond with anger and angst. And I just chose to make sure that I responded with wit, and that when she said something sarcastic or was bothering us or harassing us, that I responded with intellect. And you could take somebody apart. You can make them feel like they got cussed out without cussing them out. And so that's what it was. When she was cussing me out, I would take that and flip it back on her with intellect. And now it's a song on all platforms. It's called Karen Song.
Oh yeah.
We gotta pull that up, man. We gotta pull the Karen.
And that's what and that is actually what we had him on the show, the DJ on the show who produced that.
Yes, Wade, the remix guy. So he sent that to me. First of all, I fell over and I hurt like 3 ribs laughing because he sent to me what he made out of the actual occurrence. Because Karens are lurking. Karens are like around every corner, like they're there. But he made an actual song out of it. He's such a brilliant cat, such a brilliant producer, and he made an actual song out of the occurrence. So I'm glad to find levity in it. But I wish that people would mind their, like it says in the song, mind your business, mind your business. This don't concern you. I'm running stairs. I'm literally running the stairs. I'm not doing anything over here because you're miserable. I need you to go. The soaps are on right now. Go mind your business. Go.
Yes. I had a question.
Leave us alone, Karen. Karen, please stop harassing us. Please stop harassing us. Please stop harassing us. Karen, please stop harassing us. Please stop harassing us. Please stop harassing us. Leave us alone, Karen. Karen.
Hey.
Leave us alone.
Leave us alone, Karen.
Go ahead, Terry.
Yeah, I had a question, Javicia. I like your plain background, which helps to illuminate your vivacity. But my question is, I wanted to understand.
Definition, please.
Vivacity. I don't even know what that is, but go ahead.
Yeah.
Pickup line. That is the pickup line, bro.
No.
He likes to blow the mind with the vocabulary, Christian.
Shoot your shot. The NBA is back.
Yeah,
What's your vivacity? Come on, Javicia, with the vivacity.
No. But Javicia, my question is that I wanted to find out because what is it like to be able to revel in delicious wickedness on the show in terms of playing a character that is so bad that is so good?
Yeah.
It's so much fun. It's fun because you can't tell me I'm wrong. There's nothing that I can do when I'm playing that character that is too much. So sometimes I'm looking around like, they're gonna call cut. Oh, okay, well, let's just keep going. Like, it's fun, it's unfiltered, it's sexy, it's violent, it's dangerous, it's all of that. And as a Black actress, we don't really get these roles that often. We don't get roles where we're hitmen and we're still sexy while we do it. It's like very much an Angelina Jolie type role that would have never come to a normal, like just a Black actress. So to be able to play that is so much fun. It's so much fun.
I know, and we need to get you in touch with Jordan Peele because I think that's where you need to go next.
Hey.
I will tell y'all, I want to be a superhero. So I'm saying that so that everyone in the world hears it, so that everyone can shoot up those prayers, because I want to be a Black female superhero.
Well, I'll get to work on the script right away.
Question. Javicia, what if instead of a superhero, you're a supervillain? Are you down with it?
I'm down. I just want to be in the whole like superhero, supervillain world. Like yeah.
I'm just saying.
Oh, you got something up your sleeves?
Yeah. I'm just listen. If I gotta write it, I'm playing.
I was about to say what y'all don't know is Christian's a writer and producer. So what are you saying, Christian?
Yeah, I'm just if I gotta write it, I feel like in the very near future. That's why I'm always running some stairs and trying to sneak in the gym somewhere, just to be ready. I want to my next dream role for 2021 is a superhero or a villain. I would absolutely love to be either. I don't have to be the hero. I can be the diabolical joint.
For sure.
But I absolutely see you doing both, Javicia. So yeah, hopefully, congratulations in advance. You're gonna do both. You're gonna do both.
We're putting it in the universe. We're putting it in the universe. I've asked Javicia.
Okay, I receive it. I'm sure God receives it. I'm sure the universe receives it.
Yeah. When two or more are gathered. Hey, well, yeah. Hey.
But let me.
Amen.
Let me give my man Christian a high five, Javicia, because even when I gotta give you credit, bro. Like even when we were running to you in Atlanta, was that like a movie screening or premiere? He's always been an even dude, man. He's always been an approachable dude. He'll speak if he see you, he'll speak to you first. Like the one thing I love about your spirit, man, like you always been a regular guy. You know what I'm saying? And that's very much appreciated, man, from rolling out. For me personally, but definitely from rolling out.
I appreciate it. I have a really cool job. That's it. I'm still like people who know me from 20, 25 years ago. They can call me Chris. Not everybody else can, but I'm still Chris from Michigan who used to drive a truck. I'm Chris from Flint. And God was like, hey, go down this hallway and I'm gonna keep blessing it and I'm gonna keep opening doors. But I'm still the same guy and he's still the same guy and he's still opening doors. And I'm gonna keep going because that hallway now is leading to different buildings. And not just new doors, new buildings and new lots and new studios. And now, I'm writing the first season of a show that I sold. I can't say much about it, but
we won't tell nobody.
Of a novel of mine, but that's the way God works. You know what I mean? It's like if you do the work, and sometimes it's uncomfortable. I gotta sit in the house. Excuse me. Let me rephrase that. I get to sit in the house and make sure I sit in the house for 4 or 5 hours a day and write these pages. But now I'm writing the whole first season of a show I just sold. That's the way God works. He's a genius and a comedian. So I just got a really cool job and I ain't gonna change who I am. My castmates know, the people that I work with know. And I choose to see everything as a blessing and keep a constant attitude of gratitude.
Well, Christian, real quickly, the ladies want to know just how approachable you really are. They want to know if you're single. They asking on Facebook. They want to know what kind of women you like. So,
unfortunately, yes, I am. Would I love to be involved in something amazing and would I like to have something like Paris and Niles have? Absolutely. Season 2. Am I allowed to cuss on this? Y'all gonna see some shit. So, yeah. Season 2, y'all gonna see some quality heat. Pardon the pun. Aside from the drug, y'all gonna see some heat with Paris and Niles. And I just think real life. I do think part of that character is like my actual persona. I'd be okay with getting caught on the roof misbehaving. At this moment, I'm single. I don't love the idea, but I think that, again, God is a genius and a comedian. So I feel like he's like, okay, well, do some self-work. I'm gonna introduce you to some great people. And, if one of them happens to line up with where you are and where you're going and where I'm taking you, and they're at peace and you're at peace, then see, you know, and if not, then hey, you got a great friend for the next 40 or 50 years. But I'm open, but you know, I'm more focused on purpose. And if something amazing comes along while I'm in my purpose, I'm down. I'm absolutely down.
Hey, Cass, hey, AR, watch this. I'm gonna try this, Christian. Watch this.
Oh shit.
Hey, Javisa, are you perpetuitous?
What word was that?
The same word that King James. The same word King James used.
That was not a word. You made up something. You made up. You put three words together.
Help him out, Terry.
Are you single?
I can't help him out because I don't know what the hell he just tried to say.
That wasn't a word.
But
are you percuitous? That wasn't a word.
I don't know.
Alexa,
no,
Alexa said that wasn't a word. Alexa said.
Can you spell it?
So are you
no, you can look up. Yeah, you can look up. Yeah, you can look up the words illuminating and vivacity. I promise you can. You can find out.
Vivacity. I can't wait to tell somebody they got some vivacity.
Right, because it means somebody who's vivacious, somebody who's effervescent, somebody who glows.
Whatever language you were just speaking, Alexa just said that wasn't a word. Okay.
Okay, but my question, my question is that I'm always interested in people who are abroad, whether it's up they're doing or not, and what perspectives, how it changes your perspective. Because I was stationed in Germany, and I think I saw you over there in Germany when I was stationed over there, Javicia. And so, you know what I'm saying? I was ready because I was a cop in the military. I was ready to take my guns and protect you over there. But what I wanted to say, but no, hold on.
Showing out today.
Protect you in your vivacity.
Right. But what I wanted to know is that growing up overseas and living in different places, what kind of perspective, how do you think that informed how you live today and how you view life today?
So I'll be honest, we stayed in Germany for a while, but I was still so young. I don't know if it truly made an impact on me as a person. I think what made the most impact on me as a person is my mom is from LA. So when we came back to the States, we moved to LA. I was like the only Black girl, because we moved specifically to Irvine, which is like Orange County. And like I was one of the only few Black girls in my class. And I didn't like it. It made me uncomfortable, but I didn't know that there was anything that was different. And so then when we moved to PG County, Prince George's County, and I saw all of these Black people and all these different variations of Blackness, like I'm talking about different complexions, different accents, different everything. I was just like, oh shoot, this is lit. Like, so I lived there for most of my life, and that is so much of who I was. And then I went to Hampton University. So my first time being back in an environment that wasn't completely Black was when I moved out here. And I moved out here in 2012. So I was 24 when I moved out here. So to come out here and like have to readjust to Black not being like, you know, I don't know if you guys know this, but in Maryland, DC, all of our Senate, like everyone in the government is Black. Prince George's County is the wealthiest Black county in the United States. So Atlanta, sorry. No, Atlanta's amazing. I'm not here to I don't compare. I think that anything that is Black, I am here for it. But I'm talking about the county. Prince George's County is the wealthiest Black county in the United States. So I come from seeing Black people flourish. We were at the top of everything. We were the presidents of companies. We're the, you know, the CEOs. So I come to LA and like, it's almost confusing to them. Like, what? Huh? Oh, okay. Or you get comments, oh, you're pretty for a Black girl, or you're pretty for a dark-skinned Black girl, or you're pretty for this, or your name. How do you say that? Like, I wasn't used to it. So I would say, as far as my perspective, it's taken about 8 years for me to get my head around realizing like the world doesn't see us the way I was raised. Like, we're dope as hell the way I was raised. And so just to see, like Christian said, to see everything going on just doesn't, it's weird because the world is now seeing it more, but we live this. We're so used to this. You know what I mean? Like, this is a normal story for us. However, me coming from Prince George's County, that is also a normal story for me. So I know that we can be greater. I know that we can be stronger. I know that we can run the government. I know that we can run all of these different offices and have representation in all these offices to truly make a difference.
Preach.
So, this sounds corny,
Preach.
but so
Preach.
that we can start making these differences happen.
I wanna kind of piggyback off of that. You talk about, you know, the roles and just the access, right? In Hollywood, you know, BET is providing a great platform, but let's talk about the executive ranks and what you guys have to go through on a day-to-day basis as actors and as an actress. You know, as far as the race is concerned, because I'm sure there's still not anyone in Hollywood who can green anyone black that can green light a major film. I'm sure most of the executives at the studios are white. So what do you guys deal with on a day-to-day basis in terms of race?
But I think I'm sorry to cut you off. I don't know if Christian was about to say something. I think that the only thing about that is that has changed because of Tyler Perry. His is a studio. Tyler. So like you have an Ava DuVernay who is a director and a producer, but then you have a Tyler Perry who has an actual studio. So yes, it would be amazing if other studios link with him when he comes out with his major films, but he technically doesn't have to have that. You know, and I think the inspiration of that is we need more of that. We need more of these amazing business-minded African Americans to get into this industry and start like you said, greenlighting more projects. Because here's the thing: entertainment is what tells our story. You know, it's like entertainment is like folktale or folklore. You know, it passes the message down. Like, you look at films in the 1920s and the 1930s, and it gave you an idea of what was happening around that time. So in order for our message to start changing, in order for for them to see this side of us, right? In order for them to see the Prince George's County side, the flourishing Atlanta side, the flourishing, you know, in other places that Black people are flourishing, in order for them to see that, we have to start creating projects that show us thriving, not just relationship drama. I'm talking about, you know, I watch shows and I'm like, damn, this show would have been dope with just Black people, you know, just living regular life. Or it could be, I love horror movies. Like, yo, this would be amazing. That's why I love Jordan Peele. This would be amazing if this exact story just had Black people. So if we start, you know, if we start putting our business-minded Black people in the Hollywood to start greenlighting these stories, it will make a huge difference in how the world sees us. Because other countries only see us based off of what they see on TV. Which is why when Obama was president and a Black man went to a different country, they come up to him and call him Obama. Not because they truly think he's Obama, because that is just their connection to Black, you know, a Black man and a Black man like Obama.
Right. And then our creatives as well. Like she said something about our business-minded people, but also, and very valid, and I agree 100%, also our creative-minded people. When us as content creators, we shape the narrative. Yeah. So if we want to remove the N-word from regular everyday language, let's start filtering it out of our films and our TV shows. If we want to remove our dark-skinned brothers and sisters from always playing convicts, then let's make them CEOs and lawyers and attorneys and executives and business people and business owners, and sign me up. Let's make some big beige light-skinned cats be the felon. Let me rob the bank. You know, we can shape the narrative, but we gotta stop making it to where we consistently empower the narrative that's been set up for years and years and years. Brown-skinned brothers don't need to play bouncers, thugs, felons, and other roles. We need to show them as dads. We need to show them as faithful husbands. We need to show Black men as powerful and complicated, powerful, but imperfect. But as content creators, as somebody who actually writes TV shows and films, we have a responsibility to do better as well, to do better by us. And I think that's part of it as well. And I think now that we're getting opportunities, I think you got female showrunners, which they're brilliant, detail-oriented. Women can walk us through a side of femininity that we know nothing about. So we need to empower more women to EP stuff, be executive producers, to be showrunners, to be content creators, to oversee stuff, to be, you're like Indy Brown. Andy Brown Jones, I'm sorry, to be a showrunner, because they're going to guide you along the journey of a specific and incredible roller coaster of a show, but they're not going to let you cross the line.
Yeah,
they're brilliant.
One thing that's major for Indy is not using the N-word. Our entire show is nothing but Black people, and we're shooting things up, and there's mad violence, but you do not hear the N-word. And it's not because we can't say it. BET Plus has it on there. It's because she has made that a point that on her set, there will be no use of the N-word in her shows.
That part. Yeah. I just took that out of around the script notes I got for one of the episodes. I was like, yeah, okay, that's cool. But that part is coming out. I'll figure out another insult to say, but we're not doing it, because the more we remove it from us, the less other ethnicities will feel entitled to say it. Mm-hmm. And we damn sure not about to look up and have them comfortable with saying that BS again. So we have a big responsibility, and I appreciate the opportunity to be at the forefront of that as a creative and as somebody in front of the camera as well.
I think one of the issues also is that we have to reprogram our own brains and our own. And I think that, because I even look at some of the Black shows that we have now that are written by Black people, and they still kind of have the same stereotypes, where it's like your only lead can be very fair skinned, but her best friend is a dark skinned chick. You know what I mean?
Right.
You can look at a lot of shows that are Black shows that are out right now, and they reflect that. And I know that, like, even in the business, it's reflected. So I think that there has to be a shift in the mind. I don't think that it should, just like how when we started this conversation and we started talking about HU and it was like HU. No, we're all together. So it's not to now say, okay, everything needs to be a dark skinned person in the front and then they're like, no, I'm just saying, let's mix it up. But the only way that can happen is we start reprogramming our mind about what a lead looks like, or what the person in charge looks like, or what the woman, the girlfriend, the husband, what do they look like? And it's going to take a while, but it just needs to start aggressively happening.
Right. And Tridestin does a great job of doing that.
We wanted to definitely get.
My bad. I was just saying that the studio that shoots our show, The Family Business, they make a point to do a great job of empowering every shade of brown, every magnificent morsel of melanin will be represented. So they go from Latino and Latina to, super like Clifton Pile chocolate to dark white. Everybody's going to be represented in between, but that's always been, I've been working with them for maybe at least 10 years now. And that's always been the focus, proper representation and making sure the full spectrum and the full magnificence of all the melanin is displayed.
So yeah, shout out to Clifton Powell. He's actually going to be on the show tomorrow. But now we're going to go to Romeo.
Tell him we said what up.
We'll let him know that you gave him a shout out. But we're going to go to Romeo right now.
He didn't play my dad. He didn't play. He's a criminal on Saints and Sinners. I love Cliff, man.
Yeah, Cliff is dope.
So we got to
show Romeo, what's going on social media? Is it blowing up?
Well, first of all, the two of them done shut down social media. I was trying to catch up. Simone, Felicia,
we broke it.
Simone Mary says she loves she loves you and what you're saying about Black and brown. Christian Keys telling the truth. How do we change the N-word? That definitely needs to change. Tiffany Charleston says she's beautiful and smart. That's what I was gonna say anyway. LaWanda Power says pretty and
vivacity or whatever the word was.
Yeah, whatever the word. Christian got me up early. Glad to be in the mix. And somebody actually said, because I want to get this last one out the way, because we shout out to everybody that's jumping in. Someone actually said something very, very powerful. And they said, what was it? Romeo, you right. Shoot your shot. That's what I'm talking about. Look. Look,
boy.
The world coming to an end. We might as well shoot. I'm just saying.
Hey, with all due respect, Kobe, you gotta put your shot up sometime, brother. Listen.
Hey, thank you, brother. Yeah. Let me stop before King James throw out another big word and we all get lost.
Yeah, because I'm gonna Google the last one. I'm still not sure what it was.
What's that noise?
It sounds like somebody's.
phone.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, it was like a delay. It was they were repeating everything you said, Romeo.
Hey man, we appreciate y'all checking in. Hey, man, this was fun, man. I like y'all. I like this.
Y'all were worth getting up for. So yeah.
Well, we appreciate that. Where can everyone tune in, y'all? Obviously today to your show, and let everybody know where they can follow y'all on social media.
Ladies first.
So our show premieres today, July 2nd on the BET Plus app. Yeah. And for social media, I am at Javicia across the board. JA, as in Victor, ICIA.
And
you about to have a bunch of DMs.
They've been a slide. They've been a slide in your DM with all the big words, BC. I hope you.
Please do.
Romeo is
right
now. He just pressed send.
Please do. That is funny.
I am my social media is my name, Christian like the religion, Keyes. At Christian Keys is my Twitter. At Christian Keys is my only Instagram, and on Facebook it's facebook.com/actor Christian Keys. And those are my only 3 pages. If it ain't got a blue check, it ain't me. I got a whole bunch of catfish people.
Word on the street is Christian responds to all DMs. So
he does not.
They about to be flooding you too.
They be sliding Christian Keys DMs today.
I block 10 people a day. That's the goal. I try to get at least 10 people. If you out of pocket, if you're doing too much, my block game is strong. I practice this.
I can't even imagine how strong women be coming. You probably feel hella violated.
No, you know what's crazy is it's not women in the DMs that's a little aggressive. Sometimes it's the fellas.
Oh, what?
And I get that. I get if that's your truth, that's one thing. I respect that. I rock with y'all. Got love for everybody. Just no penis pictures. Let's just not, let's just
Lord.
You could be I'm a fan of Javicia's, but I'm not going to pull up in her DM and be like, yeah, so listen, the way them nipples was poking through that shirt, that print, you got that print was so present. It's certain things that you don't, it's certain things that you can appreciate an actor or an actress without crossing the line and being a little perverted. You can dial it back and be like, yo, I love your work. I think you're handsome. Appreciate it, brother. Thank you. And that's it. We can keep that moving. We can keep it moving. But we don't have to cross the line and talk about, hey, daddy, that deep print was sitting out on that one episode. And I'm like, all right, okay, you're doing too much, Craig. You're doing too much, Craig.
So Javicia, did you get any crazy DMs from dudes?
Of course.
From some guy named Romeo.
Yeah, watch out for Romeo. You about to pre-block him.
Block.
I don't think my stuff is crazy at all. I've had a few here and there, but I probably get just more like of other projects I've done, people that are like diehard fans that are just weird about it sometimes. And I'm just like, I'm not Allie. I'm someone completely different, but I don't get a lot of just like inappropriate stuff. But I also, those messages are like, you know how the DMs are set up. It's like the people you know, and then it's the people you don't know. So you have to actively go through the people you don't know. If there's an image, I don't even open it because I don't ever want to see.
Yeah, you don't want to see that.
Romeo!
That I didn't
cut it out.
He like this. He like, yeah.
Hey, come on, that's disgusting.
I gotta take this picture the long way. I gotta take it the long way.
Oh man, thank y'all for joining this.
Okay, that's a little bit superfluous right now. But
well, no, that was Terrence Howard.
All words, Christian. Don't pay attention to him, bro. He's
no, that was Terrence Howard in the Best Man Holiday.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Remember, he was like, "Let me take it the long way." Yeah, that's all.
Say that again. Tell him again.
No, we don't need to tell them
The
again.
AM show, not the PM show.
Right.
People, not
Yeah.
PM
That's the rolling out after dark show.
At the dark, you better get that.
Man,
Again, well, thanks
shout out
again
to the creator of your show too. It is great. He is a genius.
Oh man.
The whole team over there for putting that together, Christian. We love it. It's Black excellence. So we want everybody to tune in. We appreciate you. Much love to you. Delicious, you make us proud. Black HBCU power.
Yes.
Hey man, y'all be
Love
safe,
it.
man.
Thank you for having us.
Anytime.
Take care.
Thank
Peace.
you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Y'all have a good day. Stay safe and healthy and quarantine so we can get out the damn house.
I know, right?
Back.
Stay in the house so
Wear
we
your
can get out the
masks,
house.
wash your hands,
And stay away from Karen.
Oh,
Stay away from
Stay
the
far away from Karen.
they own this world.
that part. But thank you for having us. Pull up BT Plus. This season is gonna be fire. Oh, let me say something. So let me spill a little bit of beans. Just a little bit. So Niles in Paris, it's a Molotov cocktail. And what I love about working with Javicia is that without saying too much, you can suggest something and she'll be like, how's it gonna work though? And we break it down and we get into it and she's like, bet, okay. When y'all see this second season, you'll understand. There's gonna be some memes. There's gonna be they're gonna make a meme out of some of the moments. Oh my goodness.
Oh,
I know
Lord.
if my granny or any of my aunties see it, they're gonna be like, baby, what you doing now? What you doing now?
It's okay,
But,
my mom loves you.
does she?
Oh my goodness. My mom is
Hey! But
Hey.
to have to have a castmate that, like, most of my stuff is with Paris unless Niles is, shooting, strangling, poisoning, or gassing a bad person. So to have somebody there that's like, yo, okay, oh, that would be dope. But how? Okay, cool. Let's work through it. Boom, that. And then what y'all see, y'all gonna lose your damn mind. So I salute my castmate and fellow creative because she's as fearless as you would hope a teammate would be. And when you get a chance to get out there and create, and even if it's not on a page, but it makes sense, y'all will see. Hey, and then we'll talk about it after y'all see.
Hold tight.
Yeah.
Delicia, we need a positive thought of the day. Everybody gets 30 minutes. Positive
30 seconds.
30 seconds.
I'm here for it.
30 minutes. Damn.
30 seconds.
30 seconds.
Terry is always watching. He is gonna correct you. I got it.
My positive thought of the day is follow your passion and you will find your purpose. God puts a passion in us for a reason, and a lot of times it's very connected to our purpose. So just make sure if you ever are confused about what you're supposed to be doing or where you are, or you feel you're in that moment where you don't know what's next, just tap into your actual passion and it's going to lead you to your purpose.
Mine is what's for you is for you. Our guest today definitely shared this message of positivity. So definitely don't let life's obstacles, get you down. What God has for you is for you. Amir.
Definitely. Use your struggles and see it as a blessing. There's always a light at the end of the tunnel. So if you're going through hard times, definitely use that as motivation to get you to that next stage. I'm gonna pass it to Christian.
I live by the fact that I trust that God will take me as high as I've been low in life. And I've seen my share of lows and some. Like, I've been a ditch digger, if you will. So I've seen some hella lows, but he's making sure to reward me as long as I stay humble and hungry and do the work with incredible highs. So God will take you as high as you were low. So if you were really, really low, do the work and expect and thank God in advance for taking you really, really high.
There.
Yes, my positive word of the day is to take everything that you have that is considered a setback on earth. That is meant to be a setup from God. So whatever you can considered setback will be used later on by God to set you up for your blessings in the presence of your enemies. And your enemies will be used as a footstool to help you to get to your blessing. And then you will be, and then you will have the vivacity that the opportunity. And I pass the ball to Romeo.
Man, a kind word is the easiest thing you can give. It don't cost you a damn cent. And on top of that, you never know who needs it. Once and Steve.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks to everybody today on Facebook. You're watching Rolling Out. We've got Lunch and Learn at noon. But if nothing else, Alicia, tell them who to tune into tonight.
Oh, so you know that season 2 of the Family Business streams tonight. You get 6 episodes. You can binge it. So make sure you tune in. Listen, Black people, let's get our ratings super high. Let's show them what we can do, what we can create with a show like Carl Weber's A Family Business.
Yes. And as soon as this quarantine is like lifted a little bit, we finna shoot some more. I said finna, F-I-N-N-A. It's not as sexy of a word as vivacity, but finna is an actual word, I think. We finna shoot some more episodes. So get these 6, take these 6 episodes of greatness, and then we finna shoot some more, and then we're gonna shoot some more after that. So, but enjoy these first 6. It's gonna knock your damn socks across the room. It's not a game. Get your snacks, get your situation situated, that part.
All right. Rolling Out AM, the wake up call. Thanks, everybody. My positive thought of the day. You do not have to be in the streets, but you do have to be in the struggle. I'm Munson Steve, Romeo International, Christian Keys, Giovanna. I want to say Cass in the City, Terry Shropshire, and Amir Shah. We love you guys. Thanks so much for coming on.
Of course. Vivacity.
See, you have called me everything but Javicia.
Everything but
Javicia.
I'm about to say, we're not gonna say goodbye to my cast name.
Thanks, Javicia. I love you.
Javicia with the vivacity.
There you go. There you go.
Javicia with the vivacity. Hashtag Javicia with the vivacity.
Don't start no hashtag.
Yo.
Yeah. Hashtag that. Yo,
Yeah.
hashtag.
Yeah.
Javicia with the vivacity.
There you go.
Yeah. From Hampton University.
I'll take that hashtag.
All right.
All right. Bye, y'all.
Thank you, guys.
All right, bless.
Later, y'all. Love.